everybody. This is the Internet of Unintended Consequences. My friend Tom.
And my friend Deb.
And, you know, we are actually in Decatur, Georgia. We're a couple weeks out. We went to the Decatur Book Festival a few weeks ago, and we met an author of one of the books for this month, John Makoff, and he wrote Machines of Loving Grace, trying to look of the connections between humans and machines, right?
Right.
And then the person who introduced him was Sidney Perkowitz. I can never say that name right. But Sidney wrote a book called Digital People, and we just finished meeting with him, and he's been pretty cool. So watch out for the blog that's coming out after this. But I just thought it was a great time, since we're back in the space that we were at, just to talk about this month. This month has been really cool.
It has opened our eyes to robots and what can happen with robots, and as Sydney said, they're coming. They're coming.
But I think it's also, you know, just I've been surprised at how much I've learned. Like, I knew about certain things, but when you delve in it, when you sort of say, okay, for this month I am going to focus on this one topic, you sort of learn all of these things, and you also learn about the different people who are doing this work and the different angles that they take, right? I mean, when you listen to John, who wrote the book Machines of Loving Grace, what did you take out of that?
That, well, first of all, the word grace. To refer to a machine, a robot, with the word grace, because it has such religious implications. And every time we talk about this, that's kind of where I go back to.
Yeah, and I keep telling him, don't go there, don't go there, come back, come back.
Go back, come back. But it's just amazing that where this is going in the minds of the people who are creating them, and how optimistic everyone seems to be that's involved in robotics, about how robotics and robots will improve our lives, especially, say, in terms of healthcare as we get into an aging population.
You know, and my biggest thing is meeting Sidney and reading his book about digital people, and he puts it, you know, everybody else has been talking about technology, 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 and he put it as we are creating artificial beings. We're creating a hybrid species that combines the human, the biological, right? The organic.
Right, the organic.
And then the mechanical. I'm not pointing to you as if you're mechanical, but, you know, the robot and the metal and the whizzes and the sensors and things like that. And, you know, that brings it into such a different perspective, right? When you think about creating something, and you go back to your religion conversation, are we playing God?
Well, are we playing God? And then what Sidney said, and today when we talked, because he talked about what starts going on in robots' heads, and he says that's when that happens, they're actually thinking, and there's a spirit involved there. And here you go again with that sort of religious implication.
Yeah. And then there's some morality that go in there, because, you know, Tom doesn't remember this, so it's just between you and me. But when we went to John Makoff's session and he was talking about his book,
right,
he showed a video of these like 4-legged robots, right? And they were running. And a man, one of the scientists, came and sort of kicked it to the side. And everybody in the audience said, oh, they all gasped. It was like, oh my God, you just heard that thing. It's not a dog, it's not an animal, it's a robot. And yet in that moment, it reminded me how close we come to sort of infusing humanity in inanimate objects, right?
I think that's a great way to put that.
And that moment where everybody thought, oh, he's hurting the robot, he's hurting this thing, you know, but it's metal, it doesn't feel anything. And yet the thing, and I will remember this, is John Makoff ends his book by saying, it's not about the machine, it's about us.
Exactly. What a great way to put that.
And I think that's the thing that I learned. All of these topics that we talk about, all of these unintended consequences, the thing about robots and the future, it's not about those things. It's about us. It's about the decisions we make when we create these things, the decisions we make when we use them, when we interact with them.
Precisely. And in the end, I think it's about our own humanity. Isn't that fascinating?
It is. And I look so forward to continuing this conversation later on. But in the meantime, thank you guys for joining us. Remember, we still have some time for our hashtag IoUC robots, ROBOTS. This is the Internet of Unintended Consequences. This is my friend Tom.
And my friend Deb.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We look forward to hearing from you.